Hello, welcome or welcome back. My name is JC if you're new, but to cut to the chase, we are reading 200 pages a day this week. I don't know who started this challenge, so if you do, please let me know and I can add that part in the description and give a credit to them. But the first book that we are starting with is The Naturals. So I did start this yesterday. I'm at page 75, so I don't know how many pages are in this, if I'm supposed to finish this today. I feel like probably not, but I am going to try to pace myself this week because I swear I will read like 400 pages one day and then like 10 the next. So if I hit the 200 mark, I am going to try to stop. We'll see, because sometimes a book is just that good and you're like, no, it doesn't matter if I have to read 200 pages tomorrow as well. We're finishing this today. Let's get started. Okay, it is, oh my god, I literally look like I just crawled out of bed. Just like the last clip that you saw of me. The first clip that you saw of me. That's so great. I've been working from home today, and during kind of like off-peak times, I've randomly picked up the book. So I'm now on page like 197, I think. I basically just finished part 2, and I'm entering into part 3. And for my 200 pages goal today, I'm basically going to finish part 3, which will put me just a little bit over the 200 page mark. But I'm not stopping in the middle of a chapter. Like, it's just, it can't happen. So that's where we're at. But I realized in this video, I haven't talked about The Naturals, like what it's about or anything. I realized I gave the plot and stuff in my last weekly vlog. So I'm going to try again because I feel like I explained it well in that one. But for this video, for those of you that don't know what The Naturals series is, it is a YA mystery true crime type of book. It is following a group of teenagers who the FBI have targeted to have like these special gifts, abilities. Nothing supernatural, but just gifts that the FBI would be interested in, like profiling, reading people's emotions, very good with statistics, things like that. They're part of a program, a classified program, of course, called The Naturals. So you're following those people. You are getting Cassie's POV. I don't know if I said this, but like Cassie's 17. Like, they're teenagers, but they're like almost the adulthood range, you know? But yeah, you're getting Cassie's POV. I don't know if that changes in future books, but she's a profiler. And something huge about Cassie is her mother was presumed to be murdered 5 years ago, and Cassie essentially is the one that found the room. I say that because there was blood everywhere, but her mom's body was not there. Her mom's body still hasn't been found 5 years later, and so in this book, you get these chapters, but then also you'll randomly get a page from the mind of a killer. You don't know like who, what, when, where, why, how, like what is this, but you'll just like randomly get this, and it'll just be italicized, and you're in the mind of some killer. And at the beginning of this, like first seeing that, I was like, oh, I could definitely see that this is somehow going to be correlated to Cassie's mother's situation, because of course like her mom's disappearance murder thing definitely makes her intrigued about like the FBI overall, and hopefully being able to use her skill sets to find her mom, at least her body, and like solve that cold case. So I definitely anticipate that's what that's going to be about. I don't know if it'll be like an overarching plot of the entire series or if it's just going to be this book. But here we are. I don't want to say anything else because obviously that'd be a spoiler, but like I just remember thinking that, like that was my first comment. I think even in my last like weekly vlog, that was my thing. So I am liking this. At this point, we have just dove way more into the different naturals involved in this program. You're learning more about them, their relationships with each other. Cassie, obviously, just seeing how great her mind works naturally and how smart she is. I like it. I like her and Dean as these two profilers and how different they are, but obviously how similar they are, which is the way they think. And then I like Michael. Michael is the one that can read emotions. He's pretty cool, I guess. Leah, she's probably the underdog, but she's the one that can tell when someone's lying, and it makes her also an amazing liar. So I feel like she gets hated on probably a lot, but it's a good skill set to have within the FBI. Obviously, I love Sloane. I feel like a lot of people are like, no, but Sloane's the best. And Sloane is the best. She's the walking encyclopedia. She just knows all these different statistics. God, that word. Yeah, that's where we're at. And essentially, the goal of the FBI would be to train up these naturals to ultimately have them help solve cold cases. Okay, my next update will probably just be me wrapping up the final 200 pages. Oh my gosh, guys. It is taking everything, I mean everything in me to not finish this book. I reached my 200 pages for the day. I have 30 pages left, and this part just ended in such a cliffhanger. I'm not gonna finish it, but just know how upset I am that I'm doing this challenge right now because, oh my god, this is so good. No, this is insane. Oh my god. I'm gonna see you tomorrow, and we're gonna finish this book ASAP. Good morning, guys. Okay, I have something to tell you, something to confess. And I feel like we know exactly what it's gonna be. I did go ahead and finish the naturals yesterday. Guys, it was just 30 pages. Like, what'd you expect? But if I just would have waited till this morning, those 30 pages could have counted towards those 200 I have to do today. But I couldn't help myself. I was just like, I'm dying to know what happens. So I finished this. And I gave it 5 stars. When I was trying to figure out the rating, I was like, okay, well, what would it make it 5 stars? And I just couldn't think of anything. Because I loved every moment of the book. You jump kind of right into seeing Cassie's skill set. And then pretty quickly she's entering the naturals program. So you're like just getting introduced to everyone, but it's not like information overload. Like Jennifer Lynn Barnes' writing makes it to where you just learn more about the characters as you go, but you still initially have this sort of idea of who they are just on like your first interaction with them. I love the way that she told just the mystery element of this. I just loved her implementation of those killer pages, like where you just randomly get a page in the mind of a killer and how that is implemented through the story, but it's not too much, but also not too little. Because I'm so interested in all the interactions of all the other characters that I'm not like, wait, when are we going to get another one of those pages? And I feel like a lot of times in mystery thriller type books, when you have something like that can be a main stick in the story that you're like, well, when is just the next one of those? But I'm like, no, I loved how equally spaced out everything was. I love it. I do have the second book. I placed a hold on it at my library, but I don't know when I'm going to get it. I think I'm second or third in line, maybe. But I do have a hold to pick up today. But there's another one that's like in transit, the final book in the Caraval trilogy. So I'm really hoping that that actually arrived today and they'll be on hold later. So I think I'm going to go to the library, but I'm not going to do it until later this afternoon. I don't know what book I want to pick up, so that's a me problem, but I did want to update you that I finished this book and I loved it. Okay. Wow. No. I ran to the store to get some stuff. I've done work. Now it's like a little afternoon and I want to pick up my next book. I didn't know what I wanted to start next, but I've been dying to read this book. I've been trying to get the audiobook as well because just for me, I like to listen to the audiobook as I read it, but I still have 6 weeks till it says it's available, and that's just not going to fly with me, so I think this is going to be my next book. Okay, I have an update. I'm 100 pages into this book, so halfway through today's 200-page challenge. Can we all just like collectively agree? Like, what the hell? What the hell? This book is like if Barbie was a satanic cult. Like, this book is dark and twisted and weird and cult-like and also Barbie-like. I haven't read anything by this author before, so I don't know if this is like her normal wheelhouse, but yo, this kind of reminds me of Otessa Moshfegh's like stories where it's a little bit off, where it's like, huh, that's a little weird, interesting. Like, I wonder the same way I wonder about all of Otessa's books. Like, what did you have to do to write this? Like, what mindset were you in to write this? That's how I feel about this book. It is crazy. If you've read it, like, you know. I'm only 100 pages in. I can only imagine what the last 200 are like. This book is nuts. But I'm also so intrigued. Like, I'm just reading it, like, what? Okay, yeah, this has to be totally normal for this author because look on the back here. It says All's Well by her, but just like, really look at that cover. I feel like I need to read it. No matter what, this book is getting finished for sure. Well, I mean, it has to because it's challenge, but like my own, like, I really want to see this through. It's there. I need some food, so I'm gonna stop reading for now, but I'll probably update you again whenever I finish that second 100 pages. Okay, another 100 pages later, we have hit our 200 mark, so I only have about 100 pages left of this book to read, and I do have plenty of YouTube videos I want to watch, so I don't think I'll voluntarily read any more today, but this book, it is no less confusing and bizarre than it was our last check-in. I really feel like I'm reading My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Otessa Moshfegh. I think I made the comment that the feeling of like this writing is very similar to Otessa's, and I still believe that because like reading that book, I was just sitting there the whole time like, what is going on? This is so bizarre. I wouldn't even know if it's like unreliable narrator, but it's just like clearly she's going through it and you're going through it by secondhand. So it is good. I'm just equally having the Barbie cult vibes and then our poor main character. Like, this is terrifying. It's just terrifying to think any reality of this in any way, shape, or form. So I'm gonna finish this tomorrow. I'll probably check in with you maybe after I finish it, or I don't know, at some point tomorrow when we get back to reading. Okay. Oh, I'm telling you. Yeah, okay. I worked this morning and then I was able to kind of listen while also reading at different points the rest of Bunny. What the hell? It is totally, like, I need to look at more of this author's books, but if you liked the just bizarreness of My Year of Rest and Relaxation, I think you could definitely like this book. It is kind of darker in ways and twisted in other ways, but they have a very similar feel to them. Like, I'm just like, what did I just read? I'm giving this 4.25 stars because it was so good. I was definitely just like wanting to see this through. Yeah, that was an experience, and I just feel like I can't talk too much about it. Like, I feel you should go in relatively blind. I told you it's a Barbie cult. That's pretty good. The place is like college graduate writing school. You're following one, like our main character, Samantha, in a Barbie cult. Yeah, okay, we're gonna move on. Okay, hi guys, it's much later. It's like 7 o'clock. I didn't even get to start reading this book until I got home and kind of done from work. I think I gave you guys like a clip of it when I went to Starbucks to work earlier, but again, I didn't even read there. So, but I started The Atlas Paradox. It's the second book. It's after The Atlas 6. I don't know if that's supposed to be a trilogy series or what, but the third book comes out, I think, in January? I don't know. I think it's January. But The Atlas Paradox, I mean, it's continuing the story. The Atlas 6 was, I mean, summed up really briefly. 6 magicians were selected to try and get inducted into this like elite society where this Alexandrian society, I don't know everything they do, but one major thing is they're protecting these archives. And so 5 of the 6 would truly be inducted. Now we're following that story continued here. So only 5 did continue in book 1. So it says 6 magicians were presented with the opportunity of a lifetime. 5 are now members of the society. 2 paths lay before them. All must pick a side. That's what I'm going to tell you about this book. So the first 100 pages have just been that, and you're continuing to get all POVs of all 6 people. So that's a thing. It is cool just getting back into this world. I gave The Atlas 6 like 4.5 stars, I think. I loved that book. So this is just that more. I'm getting into it. I feel like because my brain is so tired today that it was hard for me to like feel excitement towards the book, but I do like what I'm reading. And I like how the story is progressing so far, I guess, and just continuing on. So we'll see how tomorrow's readings go, but I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna lay in bed and do nothing and then go to bed. Okay, hi, update. We did have a brief intermission to go get my hair done, but we're now back and we're now reading again. I read 100 pages today, so I have 100 pages left. Okay, so what page am I at then? I'm at page 200 actually on the dot, and it's about halfway through this book. I'm liking it. Like, I feel like every time I'm picking it up, I'm enjoying what I'm reading and I'm intrigued because I don't know how much we've talked about this book or just how much you know about it, but you have like 5, 6, 7 characters involved in this that you're getting their POVs at different times. So I like that part, and I like how it does switch up, and I feel like the times that you need more POVs from certain characters, you get that. You're not just like cycling through in order like, okay, 1 through 6 or 1 through 5 or whatever, now start over. So I do like that. I love how Olivia is writing this. It keeps you interested the whole time. I'm just enjoying it. Like, it's not, I don't know how to describe it. It's not a 5-star feeling, but I'm loving it. So it's like a 4, 4.5 at this point, because I'm definitely intrigued in just like how this continues to work. But yeah, that's my little update. I have someone coming to look at like something with my sink today, and he said he's finishing up nearby. I'm saying this because I have library holds that I really want to go pick up, but I don't think I have time. So I feel like I just need to wait until he leaves and then I can go to the library and get them. I'll update you when I have an update. Okay, it's later now. It's like 6 o'clock. I think my last update was just saying how I'd read 100 pages today, and now I was waiting for people to come and do stuff. So I had 2 people come today to my house, like one to measure out my carpets. So I took all my books out around the floor and put them on my bed, so they just weren't in the way. And then I had people come and mess with my sink and replace my like garbage disposal. So that was fun. And after that, I went to the library and I took back one of my books and picked up some holds, got some other books I saw that were there. I'm gonna do like a haul or show you guys what I got in my weekly vlog, but it was a successful trip. And then once I got back, I read a little more, and then one of my coworkers reached out and was like, do you want to go to the dog park? And I was like, yeah, I do. So I got back from that, and then I finished the last bit I had to read, 200 pages today. So I'm now at page 306. I have, okay, how many pages are in this? I don't think I ever looked. 399. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that like kind of bothers me. That's not just like 400, but I have like 90 pages left of this book, and I am really, really liking it. It's still that like 4, 4.5 rating for me at this point. It's not a 5-star for me, but 4, 4.5 is like really good. So I think I rated that as 6, 4.5 stars. I really love this story. I just loved how engaged I am throughout everyone's POV, like each chapter, each event going on. Oh, it's so cool because like all the different characters, like yes, some of them have different relationships where you see a lot more of them interacting together, like these 2 people and these 2 people or these 3 people, whatever. But then like you just have each of them kind of like figuring out their own journey within this society and like life, but they're still kind of all intertwined because they're all part of this Alexandrian society and all have these like magical gifts and abilities. So it is such a cool story. It's so cool. So obviously I'm going to finish this tomorrow. I'm excited to see how it ends because the next book comes out in January, which now seems so far away, but that is my update for today, and I will see you tomorrow when we read our final day of 200 pages. Good morning. Here's to the last day of this challenge. Yeah. I am very sleepy. I think it's just the weather. It's so gloomy this morning, but I think the sun will come out later. I just want to hang out, read. I worked from bed this morning. I did do a couple hours of work. And then I have an appointment at 3 to fix these guys. So I'm excited to deal with that later. But I have so much time between now and then. So I'm going to finish out this book. Like I said, I have like a little under 100 pages left in this book. So I think my first goal of the day is to finish the Atlas Paradox.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done.
Okay, we finished the Atlas Paradox. Wow, that book ended with wow. I am now dying to read the next book, so that's very upsetting. I'm giving this 4.5 stars, just like the first book. Wow. Last, I don't know, let's say 30 pages. It was just obviously all of these things that were talked about throughout this book were coming not to an end, but like just so many parts of the characters and what their stories are going to be evolving into for the next book. And then like just like the last like 15 pages, 10 pages, it was like, where is all of this coming from? Like, what is going on? There are some twists in this book, some plot twists that I just like did not see coming for character growth and development. It was nuts. So there's that. I'm so excited to read the next book. I don't know what I want to read next for my final 100 pages of the day, but I'll figure that out and then you'll know. Okay. Yeah, this is something. Guys, I got my nails done. Aren't they just like kind of crazy? I realized, okay, it's August. That doesn't really fully explain what my point is. It's not quite fall. Like I can't be like, oh, it's at least September, like let's do a fall thing. Can't do that. I kind of blacked out. And then I saw this green and I was like, well, that's kind of funky. So here we are. But you guys saw, I started the final book in, finale, the last book in the Caraval trilogy. So I read 100 pages. We hit our 200 mark today. Okay, here's my suggestion. If you read Caraval and you didn't really like it, continue with at least Legendary. Because I was like, okay, Caraval was meh. Like, I really liked the Caraval games, but I didn't really care for, like, Scarlet's journey, so to speak, within that and her role. But then I got to Legendary, and it's really Tella and her playing in a round of the Caraval games, and I loved that book. Like, I loved it. I think I gave it 4.5 stars. Maybe 4. 4.25. I know I only gave Caraval 3, and I know I gave Legendary, I think, 4.5. And so now we have finale, and you're mainly following Tella so far. Scarlet's in it, but she's not like the forefront, which like, thank God. No offense, Scarlet, but you're not that interesting. So it's kind of a mix between both, but I feel like Tella's in it more. Is she? I don't know. But I'm really liking this. Okay, I say that. I'm liking it. Dante. Homie. What's going on? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? That's how I'm feeling. Other than those emotions, I am so excited to finish this book and just continue it. But we're done with this video. We are done with this challenge. I'm going to continue that book in my weekly reading vlog, but, y'all, we did it. We saw how much reading I could do if I read 200 pages a day for 5 days. You can get through a lot. I read all of the naturals, all of the Atlas Paradox, and then got 100 pages into this. What? Okay. Guys, I'm an idiot. I was gonna say, how many pages did I read? That's just the challenge, so it didn't matter. I read 1,000 pages, and 1,000 pages for the books I read got me 2 1/3 books read. This is all math that you're just like, literally we don't care. I really like this challenge. I think it's not an easy challenge per se, but it's different and it's enjoyable to do, and I liked just getting through some books that I was really interested in reading. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.